The Amazon rainforest takes up around 8.2 million square kilometers of land and is widely referred to as the lungs of the earth. The Amazon itself contains 10% of the total biomass on planet Earth. Doing so, the Amazon rainforest is home to thousands of species of plants and animals, and many indigenous people. The Amazon is vital to life on this earth, and it's no surprise that the health of the Amazon correlates directly with the health of local, national, and global ecosystems and economies.
To further elaborate on this concept, we can understand how the forest acts as a carbon sink. Carbon sinks are natural areas that are valued for their ability to absorb large quantities of carbon dioxide from the environment. Forests, oceans, and the Earth's atmosphere are all great examples. Out of everywhere else in the world, the Amazon is one of the most highly valued land-based sink on the planet. It helps offset global warming as carbon emissions are reduced that contribute to climate change. We can analyze this graph to understand how the land, atmosphere, and ocean have absorbed large quantities of carbon in relation to the increase in carbon emissions due to land use and fossil fuels over the years. Furthermore, deforestation, both anthropogenic and natural, is a major issue that threatens the Amazon rainforest. We can see this through the representation that a large quantity of pristine land has been lost over the past few years, as represented by Manga Bay. We can also analyze this graph depicting the drastic decrease of tree cover in the Amazon over a few years. The graph has a major spike in the most recent years, indicating there has been a higher rate of deforestation. The rapid loss of biomass over the past few decades has many causes behind it. Agriculture is a major threat, as the forests are clear-cut and burned to provide land for locals to raise cattle. The issue with this is that it's an unsustainable practice, and the land is no longer fertile after about 2 years, resulting in more land being clear-cut yet again. Furthermore, illegal logging and shifts in climate have caused a reduction in forest biomass. Indigenous people in the area also contribute to deforestation as they burn and deforest areas for their benefit. As shown here, this pie chart is a great representation of the causes behind Amazon deforestation, illustrating pasture and logging to be some of the most prominent culprits.
Should deforestation continue in the Amazon, more than half of Amazonian tree species, including the Brazil nut, the cacao, and the acai palm, may qualify as globally threatened. All of these species are vital in the production of many consumer products that hold a large worldwide market. The graph displayed shows a downward trend in the abundance and diversity of trees in the Amazon. Deforestation has led to a great decline in the population of many animal species as well. Scientists say that the population of Brazilian bare-faced tamarin, a species that inhabits a very specific habitat, fell by half from 1990 to 2008. This was directly due to Amazonian deforestation to make way for development and expansion in the city of Manaus, Brazil. This picture shows how the development of the city is interfering with the rainforest cover inhabited by the tamarin. This story of development is commonplace, and under the business-as-usual scenario, where around 62 square miles, 160 square kilometers of forests are cleared each year, at least 15 mammal, 30 bird, and 10 amphibian species are expected to die out locally by 2050.
80% of Amazon deforestation has been done within Brazil's borders. This is due to the forest's geographic distribution across South America. Upwards of 200,000 kilometers of land has been converted to pasture for cattle and 89,000 kilometers for crops. These crops are necessary to feed local populations as well as bolster the economy. Logging has also been used to increase Brazil's exports. Many of these activities are damaging to local populations as they often have chemical runoff and erosion that hurt the ecosystem on which people heavily rely. Studies led by conservation scientist Dr. Nepstead conducted in Brazil aim to find the effect that different land uses have on deforestation. The majority of Brazil's land mass consists of forests, deforested, and indigenous reserves. However, the forest fires in the Amazon in 2019 have been the result of deliberate burning to flush indigenous people out of their communities. This is often in the support of big business rather than local people who need the land.
The Amazon rainforest absorbs about 2.2 billion tons of carbon dioxide per year, which is more than the rainforest naturally emits into the atmosphere, according to a 2014 study. This means that the natural Amazon forests reduce global warming by lowering the planet's greenhouse gas levels. However, degradation and deforestation releases the carbon stored within the trees. According to a study published in 2014 in Global Change Biology, when forests experienced unnatural disturbances like logging and fires, they stored 40% less carbon than undisturbed forests. As deforestation increases, the Amazon becomes a less effective carbon sink, and global warming is exacerbated.
Changes in deforestation policy and logging restrictions would significantly decrease the release of carbon emissions, improving social and natural life cycles. If conventional logging and agricultural practices were changed, several different social and natural subsets would benefit. The economic and agricultural damage suffered from forest fires would notably decrease. Ultimately, if our agricultural and forestry practices stay the same, the damaging social and natural impacts will continue, if not increase. If our behavior remains unchanged, the number of forest fires will increase in rate and severity. We'll see a decline in species diversity and abundance, even as those rates are already in decline from forest fires and deforestation from agricultural and transportation sources. At some point in the future, the conditions faced by the Amazon may reach such a critical breaking point that the land will become uninhabitable/unfarmable due to human exploitation of the land.